Joel, we had some news last week. It had just come out as we started recording that George St. Pierre was back in the UFC. We text George. George wrote us back while we were still recording and said, no, at this point it's rumor, but we're getting close to signing. Apparently he has.
So the information that came out behind the scenes was that the negotiations were going nowhere. They were at a practice, and George just told Freddie Roach, hey, what's going on? Freddie Roach gets on the phone, calls Ari, who apparently he knows, and got the ball rolling, got the deal signed, and now George St. Pierre's new corner man is Freddie Roach. Does that mean his longtime corner
for us
is out?
Not a chance. Not a chance. It just means Freddie will now also be in the corner. I mean, I'm speaking now not on information, but no, Freddie's the guy, or Faraz is the guy, but Freddie will be there, and I think that's great. They're a really good fit. George is always out in L.A. He's always training with Freddie Roach, and Freddie's the man. I mean, if you can get Freddie, you grab Freddie, right?
I guess. I mean, it's always worked so great in the past having boxers coach MMA fighters.
Well, and he's got, Freddie helped get the deal done. I wish I knew the intricacies of that. I don't know what Freddie would have said to Ari to let him know other than, hey, I'm standing here with George and he wants to do a deal. Here's the interesting part if you want to live in the world of speculation, which I do, which I think is more fun than actually having the info, is I think George has an opponent.
I know. Well, of course, we know he has an opponent. The question is who is that opponent? And I think it's Nick Diaz.
Yeah, I know that you've been saying that, and sure that would, that would do fine business. That just doesn't tickle me as a fan. I'm kind of looking at it going, well, I've already seen that fight once. I think if George is coming back, I think the rumors that he put out a while ago that he wants to go to 85, wants to challenge for the title. Bisping's the champ. It's him and Bisping. Bisping wants that fight. What does that do with Yoel Romero? Well, we're going to have to find out. But if I had to pick, if you just wanted me to put a prediction out there, I think it's going to be Bisping and George.
Not Bisping or not George and Conor.
Well, see, that's interesting too. Nobody's talked about that. I appreciate you bringing that up because that's also very possible they could come out with that. And I also think Anderson Silva is in the running there to be in the mix. So what do you do with Bisping? Because you've got the Yoel thing. That fight's already been announced that it's going to happen. Of course, we know the landscape changes fast and things change. But if you did want to preserve that fight, yes, Conor versus GSP, that's very interesting. I don't think that's off the table.
One of the things
that's the biggest fight you could make right there. That's the big, absolute number one biggest fight that would ever be made in the history of MMA.
One of the things that MMA, the insiders, the corporate guys have gotten better at is keeping a secret. You could never keep a secret up until a few months ago when Coker kept the Fedor Mitrione secret. And now we have GSP's out and he's coming back and nobody knows who that opponent is. You know as well as I do. You've got your hand on the pulse of the inside community. You don't know so much that what you like to do is to tell everybody but you can't tell them. You're not even there.
No, I'm not there. And that is true. Sometimes I am given information. And, that's what helps with this show is to give information. But sometimes you are given information and you're told, hey, look, this is a secret between us, and you just can't reveal it. I'm holding no cards back here. But I'm a fan on this one. Now, when you bring up Conor, is Conor crazy enough to do that? And I think the answer is yes. Would George do that fight? Yeah, of course George would do that fight.
Well, Freddie Roach has also said that he thinks the Floyd-Conor fight's going to happen. So if Freddie's cornering GSP and he's giving that information out, maybe he's doing a swerve, but that would indicate that maybe the Bisping or maybe the Nick fight is there. I'll tell you, we had a chance to go out and train at Gilbert's gym. Gilbert set it up for us that we could go in there and train at his gym. The last thing I said to Gilbert was, Gilbert, it's 5-1 odds that GSP's next opponent is Nick. I bet $200. And he was radio silent since then. That doesn't mean anything either way, but he did not respond in any way, shape, or form.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, you got Nick on the table. I just want to think he'd be the first option. I just wanted. I think the other matches I mentioned, particularly just because they haven't happened. Bisping is the champion. George wants to be the champion. I think he likes that matchup. Bisping wants the match. So, boom, you've got two guys that have already said yes. You just did the easiest. You just made the promoter's job very easy. Secondly, could it be? Yeah, sure, absolutely. You've got Anderson versus St. Pierre that people wanted to see forever. There's no title on the line. They can come up with their own weight class. I mean, they could get as creative as they wanted with that fight, and it works. And then you got the Conor thing. You got the Conor. Conor's the champ, so he'd have to go up to 170. He's done that before. I think Conor might be the weak link in that, where he's looking at it going, I don't think so. But I don't know. The way their contracts are structured and how big that fight would be. And Conor's crazy, man. We got to give him his due. The time of questioning Conor McGregor is long behind us. That guy is the real deal. He probably would sign off.
The Bisping fight, the only way I see it is I see it at a catch weight of 180 pounds, it being a super fight, because George may like that fight, but I can guarantee you he doesn't like the perspective of fighting all the rest of the animals in that division.
That becomes a problem too. If you want to be a chess player and look ahead, yes, I do believe George likes that fight and likes that matchup. Why? I don't know. Leave that to George, but I do believe he does like that and likes that matchup. Does he like the other guys at 185? No, probably not. George has even talked about going the other way and going down to 155. So there's no telling what he's going to do. Now, let's say the 155 thing is true. Why the greatest fighter of all time would leave his weight class ever is beyond me. But let's just say it's true. That the only reason he's going down is to take on Conor. He's not jumping into 150 for any other reason. So if we can find out any piece of this, any detail, any clue, if I could choose one, it would be, hey, what weight are you going to fight at? If I knew what weight he was going to fight at, I could tell you the opponent. If he fights Anderson, that's going to be a catch weight somewhere. If he fights at 185, then he's fighting Bisping. If he fights at 170, I don't know. I think then you do have a strong case for Diaz. If he fights at 155, guaranteed lock, stock, and barrel, he's fighting Conor McGregor. All right, listen, guys, do yourself a favor. Go get the TrueCar app right now. If you got a smartphone, you're probably listening to this podcast on one right now. Just go download it. Whether you're looking for a car right now, sometime you're going to be. Have the app ready. If you're at a desktop, www.truecar.com. Here's how it works. Before you show up at a car lot, before you waste your weekend and go in there unarmed with information, trying to go through blue books and see what cars are going for, scanning the internet, seeing what you should be paying, don't do any of that. Go virtually and have transparency. Build the car you want. Year, make, model, color, anything you want to do to the car. Canopy, special wheels, 6-disc CD changer, car alarm, whatever it is you want to do. Type in your zip code. It will show you what people in your area paid for that exact same car. At that point, you will be connected with a TrueCar certified dealer. You will work directly with them. When you show up at the car lot, they will honor that price. Most people are saving. Joel's ex-wife is one of them. My friend TJ McCord, just to name a couple that I know. Most people are saving $4,000 off of the MSRP. I love that. I love that you get to save money, but I can tell you from personal experience, I also like to save time. I do not like being down at a car lot all day because I fell in love with an ad and then I leave in a stripped down version of my dream car making twice the monthly payments. New and used vehicles. Go through TrueCar.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds, host of the new podcast, Larry Mack, America's Crew Chief on Podcast One. As a two-time Daytona 500 winning crew chief and current analyst for Fox Sports and FS1, I'll be bringing you a unique perspective on everything NASCAR, from how a race plays out, strategy on pit road, technical issues, and anything in between. Download new episodes now on podcastone.com or subscribe at iTunes.
You're welcome with Chael Sonnen.
All right, we're going to do something a little bit different today, and I'm also going to retire the Nicky Bones. The Nicky Bones was a way to get the fans into this show.
Into insulting you. It's just they got too heavy and it hurt your feelings.
No,
Tell the truth.
It's just.
And I'll remind you, you retired the Nicky Bones when we did a caper at Miss H's house 3 weeks ago. So you're retiring them again?
Whatever. I'm an idiot, and we already know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do fan questions. I asked for fan.
No, you're brilliant. Why would you say that?
Oh, you're the best, and everybody loves you, and my name's Chael, and I got a beautiful wife and a killer kid, and
that
I'm
is
really rich. And
that is a good looking woman right